Hey friends, so nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Christiana Gaudet. I am your Tarot Fairy Godmother, and this is Global Tarot Circle. Global Tarot Circle has been meeting monthly pretty much since about 2012. We started first on WebEx, then we moved to Facebook, and now we're doing it here. And I'm so glad that you're here to do it with us. If you are watching in recap, if you're watching the recap, thanks so much for being here. Drop a comment. Those of you who are here with us live, I really appreciate you. A lot of you know exactly what I want you to do first, which is to say where in the world you are and what deck you're working with. I am in Palm City, Florida, and tonight I thought I would work with Light Seers Tarot. Of course, a special shout out to our members and our moderators, and welcome to Beth here from Southington, Connecticut. I could tell you the story of the time I got my butt handed to me by the Southington gymnastics team when I was in high school. I could tell you that story. Anyway, good journeys, Tarot. Nice to see you, Rosemary. Glad you're here. Phoenix J, glad you're here. Everyone, Nilsa, nice to see you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Welcome to you all. So, what we will do today, we follow a pretty specific format. For about the first half hour, we're going to do readings. We will do readings for each other. And from Wilton, Connecticut, Mel, so nice to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Choki, I'm so glad you could join us. All right, so here's what will happen. The first thing I want you to do when you're here is let us know where you are and what deck you're working with. Fine. And if you're here without a deck, that's okay too. You can just listen. You can even ask questions. You can participate. Hey, Paula, nice to see you. Paula's my across-the-way neighbor. I could probably walk to your house in probably about 5 minutes. And came to our in-person tarot meetup at Panera Bread in Palm City this Sunday, so it's so nice to see you. All right, let's see who we've got here. First of all, Lisa Harmon, thanks for being a member from Greenville, South Carolina, using Tarot of the Witch's Garden. So good. TJ and GA, probably in Georgia, using Forest of Enchantment Tarot. PL Day, thanks for being a member in Houston using the Radiant. And you just got Witch's Garden as well. I think that's a really popular deck right now. Eileen Smith, first time here. Thanks so much for being here. We're so glad you are. The Passionate Unicorn. You're also new to the group. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Carol from New York. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. And Phoenix is here from New York. Justine, thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator from Houston, Texas, using Spirit-Wise deck today. Perfect. Okay, and Beth is here from Southington. Let's see. And Eileen's going to get her deck, and she's here in Florida. Very good. Good Journeys Tarot is Rosemary, living outside of Atlanta, and creating or working with the deck that she has created, Good Journeys Tarot. And Rosemary will be a presenter at StarCon, just letting you know. All right. Okay, here we go. Smile Soul 20, thanks for being a member. Connecticut, working with Rider Waite. Madiha Ness, thank you for being a member in the Pacific Northwest. Haven't picked out your deck for the night yet. All righty. Yolanda, nice to see you using Light Seers, Port St. Lucie, Florida. A table for one. Diana, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member in Kentucky. Using one of your many RWS decks, your working deck. All right. All right. Very good. And if you don't have a deck, it's perfectly okay. You can still play. You can still play. Oh, Beth, you're using Tattoo Tarot. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So for the first half of our time together, we will do readings. And here's how this works. Some of you have already done this. Put in a question. If there is a question that you are willing to ask a virtual room full of tarot readers, Ah, Claire C., there you are in Florida with the Radiant Rider. Perfect, perfect. If you are willing to ask any question at all, it can be a specific question, it can be a general question, such as, what does the universe want me to know? Any question at all, go ahead and put your question in. I will take the questions in the order that I see them. I will answer each question that I see with a single card. If you would also like to do the reading, you will pull a card for that question and you'll put into your comment the name of the person you're reading for, the name of the card you drew, just one question, and the interpretation. Now, clearly, I can read a lot more quickly because I'm speaking it. It's a lot quicker to speak than it is to type. And function of practice, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'll move very quickly. You may not keep up, and that's okay. That's all right. Do every other one, or just do the ones you're called to. Or if you don't have your cards, just listen and enjoy. All right, you ready? Now, you may wonder, what are we doing in the second half? In the second half, we'll do informal tarot study. I have a couple things I can go over with you. Maybe you have some questions and things you'd like to learn, whatever you like. All right, here we go. First question is Smile Soul 20. Once again, thanks for being a member. My question is, what does the universe want me to know? So I will tell you that what does the universe want me to know is one of my favorite questions because it's the obvious question for a general reading. There are so many readers who say, I don't do general readings. I need a question. Okay, fine. Here's your question. What does the universe want me to know? Because honestly, if you're just beginning, whatever, fine. But if you're out there as a professional reader and you don't do general readings, what is wrong with you? Just a question. All right. So, first question, Smile Soul 20. What does the universe want me to know? If you would like to do this reading, at Smile Soul 20, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. And remember, if you ask a question, don't just listen to me. Make sure you read through the chat to get your whole reading. All right, Smile Soul 20, what does the universe want you to know? The Queen of Wands reversed. You are not in the fullness of your energy. I'm going to turn this right side up, right? Now, we're going to welcome the fullness of your energy. Your creativity, your humor, your kindness, your compassion, your intuition, all of the things that are in you and true about you. It's as if you don't want to own them fully. So I've turned the card right side up to lend you that energy, to give you that energy so that you can own fully all of your positive, fiery energy, which is going to be your creativity, your spirituality, your humor. All right. All right, all right, all right. I am just scrolling down, looking for the next question. And now I've overscrolled. And a lot of what happens here isn't coming from me, it's in the chat. So definitely enjoy the chat. And just remember, name, card, interpretation. Okay, and I see people already doing readings, so that is just fabulous. All right, I am looking for the next question. So Lisa Harmon, I think I'm seeing you saying that you might in fact come to StarCon. Am I seeing you say that? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh my gosh, and are you talking about cosplay? Because we are really looking at perhaps doing some, last year, Rosemary was there as the magician and she was fabulous, and we did Tropical Vibes Day on Saturday. But this year, next year, 2024, we want to do more costumes. So you should definitely come in costume as the Hermit. Yay! All right. I am just scrolling here, looking for and here's the next question that I see is from Yolanda. Yolanda, once again, thanks for being a member here. We appreciate you. Here's the question. Should I take my continuing education courses required for full licensure now or wait until after I have my license? So does she take her continuing education courses now or does she wait until after she has her license? That's the question. If you'd like to do this reading, at Yolanda, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. I'm going to say wait. The King of Wands reversed tells me to wait. If it were upright, I might say I'll just do it now, but reversed sort of delays it. So I'm going to say wait. And PL Day, thank you for those kind words. Welcome all newcomers. This truly is an awesome community. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Next question. Eileen Smith, thanks so much for being here. What does the universe want me to know? If you'd like to do this reading, at Eileen Smith, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Page of Pentacles reversed. I don't love this. What does the universe want you to know? I think that, Eileen, the universe is encouraging you to remember your youthful self, if you really don't have to do it and you don't want to do it, maybe don't do it. Maybe don't hold yourself accountable for things you don't have to do and don't want to do. And there's something here about, so what comes next? What do you want to do next? Is there something you want to learn? Is there some way you want to grow? Is there some way you want to heal? So I'm going to say youthful, figuring out what comes next, and leaning into growth and healing. How about that? And there may be, this actually makes more sense now that I think about it, because didn't you not come to our in-person meetup because you weren't feeling well? And that could speak to that as well. So there's a bunch there, but basically take care of yourself, feel better, remember that you are young, and remember that you have many things you can lean into, enjoy, and many ways to find healing. How about that? All right. Nilsa, if you'd like to do this reading, at Nilsa, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Nilsa, it is so nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. What do you need to know about your current job? The Six of Cups reversed. Same crap, different day? Could that be it? It sort of just feels like you know what you know. Everything you know is what you know. And you can kind of expect the same thing to keep happening. And there it is. That's the way I see it. What you know is what you know. Let's see what else other people have to say. At Nilsa, the name of the card you got in your interpretation. TJ and GA, good question. How can I best support my teenage daughter at this time? All right. If you'd like to do this reading, at TJ, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. How can I best support my teenage daughter at this time? By remembering that it's hard. It's so easy to look at them and their lives and how their lives are. And, we remember probably some of the best parts of our own times being that age, as well as perhaps the worst parts. But I think she has friends. I think that's good. But do not be one of those parents that's like, oh, these are the best days of your life, because God knows they're not. They're not. So hold space for the fact that this is not easy, and it will get better. That's what I think. Hey, Disco Bunny, Kristen, hope you're doing well. And you have the Angels Tarot. Are you back stateside now? Might you come to StarCon 2024? If you are, we'd love to see you. All right. Okay. Next question. Paula Rosenthal, thanks for being here. What does the universe need me to know? If you would like to do this reading at Paula, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Wow, the star. That there is every opportunity for hope, for healing, for fulfillment, for you to have the life you want. There is every opportunity for that. A table for one. Diana, thanks for being a member here. How will this final trip to Indiana to get the last of my things go this week? And I've been watching you on social media. I'm just so impressed with everything you got going on, Diana. So good. Okay, if you'd like to do this reading, a table for one. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. How will this final trip to Indiana to get the last of my things go this week? It will probably cost more money than you thought. Your things are probably bigger than you remember. So all of it, it's going to be more tiring, more expensive, heavier, more than you anticipate, but it'll be fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. It'll be perfect. All right, Phoenix J. If you'd like to do this reading at Phoenix J, the name of the card you got and your interpretation, what does the universe want me to know? The Nine of Swords reversed. Phoenix J, I wonder if you've had some issues with worry, with depression, with something that has been upsetting. And this card in its reversal suggests a healing process, suggests things getting better. This is a card that offers both hope and healing to you at this time. Okay, Mel Mulreed. If you'd like to do this reading at Mel, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. What does the universe want me to know? For Mel. Look at that, Six of Cups reversed. So I wonder if you have something going on where you're going to see an old friend or connect with someone that you have, connect with someone you haven't seen in a little while. A reunion, something of that nature, whether planned or unplanned. So there's that piece of it. When you see the Six of Cups, that can be a possibility. Here in its reversal for you, though, the way I'm seeing this, Mel, I feel like you had some expectations about where you would be right now. And where you thought you would be and where you are may be two different things. There may need to be some acceptance, some understanding. When we look at that Six of Cups reverse, there is sort of a question. Are you telling your story, your personal narrative in a way that supports you and supports your success? So there's some questions there for you to think about. All right, next up, the Passionate Unicorn. If you'd like to do this reading at the Passionate Unicorn, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. My ex ghosted me in April. Boo hiss. Are we meant to come together in the future? By whom, would I ask? I will. So see, this is an interesting thing, and this is a teachable moment. I fully believe that we can do readings around things that we have no belief in. So like, suppose I didn't believe in past lives, but which I do, but you wanted me to do a reading on it. I could just say, okay, what do you need to know about your past life, a pertinent past life to where you are now? Pull some cards and there it is. I wouldn't have to believe it. I could still do the reading. What's hard is a reading that is centered so tightly around something that A, I so don't believe in, and B, I believe is harmful. That makes it hard. What the heck am I talking about? I'm not trying to give you a hard time, Passionate Unicorn. But the idea that people are meant to be together, I find that idea harmful. I just find it harmful. And so I can't figure out a way to do the reading as it's written without perpetuating that harm. And so what I'm going to say is simply, do we see a reconciliation? How about that? That's fair. And for everyone else doing this reading, do it the way that works for you, right? If your belief system includes the idea that people are meant to be together, do the reading from that perspective because that works for you. Okay. Do I see the two of you getting back together? I would say definitely not. Now is a time to heal. Now is a time to heal. This is about healing for you. I would focus on healing. All right. Next question, Justine. Justine, thank you so much for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. We appreciate you so much. What is the lesson I need to take away from my most recent heartbreak situationship conflict? All right. If you'd like to do this reading at Justine, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. I'm looking forward to this one. The Two of Swords reversed, man. If it don't fit, you can't force it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're attracted to each other. It doesn't matter if the vibe is great when you hang out. If it's not working, it's not working, and there's nothing you can do to make it work, and it's not your fault that it's not working. And I know you've kind of figured that out about this situation. But what you've learned here is going to help you in life going forward. Because people show you who they are. And I don't care how attracted you to them you are and how much you wish they were in a different place. If they're not, they're not, and you got to move on. And that's what you learned. How about that? And the Passionate Unicorn, thank you. Thank you for your very kind words. I appreciate that. I felt bad. This is your first time here, and I'm already like, what about this? What about this? And those of you who, those people in this community who know me and have been here for a while, know that I will give you a hard time, and I will rant, and I will do all of those things, but I do it all with love. So thank you for hearing it and receiving it in the way that I gave it. I really appreciate that. All right. Disco Bunny. Kristen, you are up next. It's so nice to see you, by the way. Okay. I see you doing lots of readings. I just overscrolled, sorry. Give me a minute. I see everyone doing lots of readings. Thank you so much for participating. So much fun. Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, and we'll do one question per person, okay? Okay, Disco Bunny's up next. Kristen, what does the universe want me to know? If you'd like to do this reading at Disco Bunny, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Five of Wands. I feel like you're going to be in a certain amount of conflict with yourself, figuring out what comes next. But remember, your creativity and your spirituality have been ignited, and you are ready for growth. Claire C., here's a good question. What does the universe want me to know? Claire, thanks for being a member. Thanks for being you're not a moderator, but you're here. Thanks for being here. Claire, thanks for being a member. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being your awesome self. What do I need to know about this hurricane season? Man, I get that question big time. If you'd like to do this reading at Claire C., the name of the card you got and your interpretation, the Four of Wands reversed. I don't love that reversal. I know you lucked out last year. When was it Ian? When Ian came through, which is also my son's name, which is just funny. But I'm a little concerned. Now, this is not devastation, but it feels like a very similar thing where it will come close to home. You'll be a little worried. It'll be okay. That's my guess. Kathy Lee, so nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Guidance from the universe, certainly. And if you'd like to do this reading at Kathy Lee, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Kathy Lee, Six of Wands reversed. It feels like you are not giving yourself grace. It feels like you are not looking at the ways that you are winning, the ways that you're on top of things, the ways that you are in a good situation in life. And yes, there could be problems here too, and I'm not trying to gloss the problems, but I just think you're hard on yourself in your own mind. And I don't know if it's always or a particular circumstance or situation right now, but I feel like you need to recognize your skill, your ability, and all the things that are good about you. All right, Lisa Harmon. Lisa, thank you so much for being a member. We appreciate you so much. If you'd like to do this reading at Lisa Harmon, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. I'm beginning to get surges of energy. Is this finally a signal that I am truly beginning to heal? Well, I think you've been healing for a long time, but yes, this is a sign that the healing continues and is getting to a place where it's more palpable. Mediha Ness, nice to see you. Thanks for being a member. I'm a good copycat. What does the universe want me to know? If you'd like to do this reading at Mediha Ness, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Let's see what we got here. The universe wants you to know that you're doing a good job balancing all the things. And you have a lot of things to balance. And it's hard, but you're doing it. And that's important. All right, up next is Rosemary, Good Journeys Tarot. What do I need to know about my current job search? I have so many specific questions, but perhaps what is most important to know? All right, if you'd like to do this reading at Good Journeys Tarot, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Let's see what we got here. The Knight of Cups reversed. I feel like you're not where you need to be. It may be you haven't found the right position or the right company. It may be you've not had the opportunity to have the interview. I almost feel like you need to be more directed and more proactive at this point. It may be, if you are in talks with somebody, it may be that the communication is a little tough. So do what you have to do to shore up the communication. So communication, wide search, extra effort will get you what you want. Okay, Choki, thanks for being a member. We appreciate you. All right. What does the universe want me to know with regard to the unexpected physiological journey that I'm currently on? Fair. If you'd like to do this reading at Choki, that's CHOKYI, Choki. The name of the card you got and your interpretation. Well, the King of Swords reversed. It is unexpected. It is causing you to do things that you would not have thought you would ever have done. And it has basically taken every single thing that you thought was true about yourself, life, the universe, and everything and turned it upside down. Okay. All right. So not easy and not fun, but a little bit at a time. As you heal, you will be able to pick out what is actually true, what is actually true for you. And you'll be left with a sense of actual truth. How about that? So it's hard, but it will be a good journey in the long run. Okay. Okay, so we have upvote for theme night for costumes for StarCon from Justine. Friday night or Saturday night, though, that's the question, man. I have so many questions, but we'll work it in. We are definitely going to do costumes. Okay. Oh, and Lisa, yes and yes? Oh, hallelujah day. So good. Winter, Rosemarie, so nice to see you. Working at the moment, I was thinking maybe trying the Sarasota, Florida area, but did you say maybe Royal Palm area? I seriously don't know what to do. And Choki's voting up cosplay at StarCon. So those are both good areas, right? Royal Palm's good. Sarasota, like right now, if I had to make a choice between Royal Palm and Sarasota for no other reason other than the place, I'd probably go with Sarasota. But they're both great. So let's have this be the question. What does Winter need to know about her next geographic move? How can she choose where she's going to go? What does she need to know? What does she need to know about her next geographic move? If you'd like to do this reading at Winter, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Now, see, the good thing, if you were in Palm Beach County, Martin County, St. Lucie County, Broward County, any of those counties, you could easily get to our monthly in-person tarot meetup. See, that's the thing. Anyway. So, Winter. The Six of Swords reversed, you're not ready to choose. It's not time to choose. It's time to research and figure it out and have your list, but you're not ready to choose because the ducks aren't in a row yet. All right. I am just scrolling through. Okay. 3 job interviews this week. You go, Jackie. Yay. Jackie Masters, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member. Did y'all see that? 3 job interviews this week. Will they go well? If you would like to do this reading, at Jackie Masters, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Here we go. Justine, you did a really thorough job with Yolanda. Well done there. Okay. Jackie. Jackie. Wow, there's that King of Swords again, reversed. I think the interviews will go well, but you will not have a clue how it went on the other side. They're going to be really stone-faced. But you just have to be confident, present yourself, and don't let their stone-facedness get to you. That's just the style of interview, I think. Okay. Okay, so we're doing 1 question per person until we get to tarot information, and then you can ask more questions. Okay, George, what are my chances to come to Canada? If you'd like to do this reading, at George, name of the card you got, and your interpretation. The wheel reversed, it's not easy. It's doable, but it's not easy. It would take some time. It would take some time and some finagling, but you could make it happen, but it's not easy. Hey, Joyous Ocean, thanks for being a member. Thanks for joining us. All right, so at this point, I'm still scrolling through looking for extraneous questions for readings, but it is time for us to shift our energy into tarot study and discussion. My question to you, I've got a couple things to share with you, but my question to you, do you have questions about tarot? Do you have questions about about tarot itself, about tarot reading, about different decks, about spreads, about techniques, about a specific card you got, about anything at all having to do with tarot? What would you ask a room full of tarot readers about tarot? Get those questions in now. And we'll move into our tarot study and discussion portion of our program. If you're still doing readings, please continue on. It's not a smooth switch over. Let's put it that way. All right. And I'm just looking for questions that we missed, that I missed. Cheryl Jefferson, it's so great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for playing. Claire C., Port Charlotte. Okay, this is for winter, Rosemarie. Claire says Port Charlotte, much more affordable than Sarasota, but close. Yeah, good point. Okay. All right, so The next question, we're going to tie up the readings. Tanya, nice to see you. I would like to know the best way to go about contacting, communicating with my husband in spirit. You're in Washington, D.C., Light Seers Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. I am so sorry for your loss. That is just so sad. And I mean, I love Light Seers. You see, I'm using it too. And you know, you can use your deck to do this. And that might be something we want to talk about and study. Let's do this as a reading, but this might be worth talking about in study as well, how to do that. So if anyone wants to do this as a reading, at Tanya, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. So the interesting thing is the times when you would really like to hear from him, when you're feeling really sad, really lonely, really upset, don't have an answer, whatever. Those are the times that it's going to be hardest to hear him. Because when you're in your emotion and you're in your thinking and you're in your mind, that's when it's hardest. Breathe, release, and listen. That's what I would say. Hey, Dream Talking with Vicki, nice to see you. Okay, and we'll do this question for Joyous Ocean. What does the universe want me to know? If you'd like to do this reading at Joyous Ocean, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. The Five of Swords reversed. It's not a battle, it's a strategy. It's not a battle, it's a strategy. Okay. Okay, Teresa, thanks for being a member. Thanks for being a moderator. I have some financial concerns, including where I live come fall, and I'm wondering if I should start looking to work sooner than later, or if I'll be fine to just focus on school and finish by October. If anyone wants to do this as a reading, at Teresa, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. You're right to be concerned. I don't know that you have to look for a job. You may just have to, I think you'll be okay, but it's worth looking at. It's worth looking at. Oh, Disco Bunny. Oh, this is good. And Disco Bunny, yeah, you would know. Absolutely. Regarding hearing messages in spirit from husband who has passed on. Keep a little notebook of maybes. Write down anything that can be a sign or communication, then analyze once a week. You will refine your communication skills together. That is beautiful. Thank you, Kristen, for that. And so tag it mediumship. And anyone who wants to share anything about communicating with loved ones in spirit, with tarot or without, please do share that. This is good. Okay. Medea Ness, I received the gift of the Compendium of Witches. It's beautiful. I don't know what to do with it so far. I have nothing to say to you about that because I'm not familiar with it. Anyone have any ideas what Ness should do with her Compendium of Witches? Just tag Ness. Passionate Unicorn. I have a question. Thank you. I know that the 10s represent ends of cycles and completion. I've been on a 9 forever. How long does it take to get to a 10? It totally depends. And what do you mean by that when you say you've been on a 9? Is that your estimation? Is that something you're getting from divination? Is that like, you know, what's coming up in the cards? Is it a particular suit? I want to know more. But I would say that that's a depends thing. Could be a minute, could be a lifetime. I don't think there's any, change and growth and all of that. That's up to us and circumstances and all of that. But now, when we talk about the 10s, tag it 10. Does anyone have anything to say about the 10s other than end of a cycle or completion? Is there anything else that you can say about 10 beyond that? I mean, yes, that's true about 10s. Anything else, though? I can just sometimes see this is the situation. A 10 for me is just sometimes the situation, right? Obviously, Cups and Pentacles, much better situation than Swords or Wands. But that's the thing, like when we think about it linearly, if we count the cards from ace to 10, ace is the beginning, 10 is the ending, and then the court cards, of course, are like what we do with that knowledge. But we also count tarot in the other direction. Sometimes when you buy a deck, it will be sorted starting with the kings, in which case 10 is not the end. It's the situation into which you're born in. And ace is the source or the essence that you're getting to. So, and I'm saying that to everyone here, this idea that we just look at the numbers going from 1 up to 10, very valuable to do that, very valuable, but also do it in the other direction. Okay. And anyone has anything to say about 10s, let us know. And any ideas about getting from the 9 to the 10, any good thoughts for Passionate Unicorn, please let us know. Okay, Disco Bunny. Here's a question. Difference between, I'm looking, do I have, I do. Here we go. Hang on one second here. Difference between judgment, justice, and the Lovers. So I'm going to try to get those cards out so we can look at them. Judgment, justice, and the Lovers. Here's justice. And yes, this is my giant deck. Justice. The Lovers. Judgment. And so Kristen, Disco Bunny, is seeing decision making in all three, which, I can see where you're coming with that, because when we think about judgment, the word, we think about making a judgment. To be honest with you, and I would love to hear, just tag the card or the cards and tell us what you think, remembering there's no tarot police. There's not necessarily right or wrong answers here. You don't have to agree with me. Everybody's tarot practice is different. But I'll tell you what I think and how I see it. And I'd love to hear what other people think. I'd love to hear what other people think. And no right or wrong answers. Okay, so similarities. Like, I would not look at these cards and naturally see similarities. I might see similarities between the Lovers and Justice. The key words there for me would be balance. Balance. That I see balance in both of these cards. Now I can see where Kristen's going with decision making, but like decision making isn't a prime keyword for me for judgment or justice, but I can see how it could be. Now, these are both air cards. The Lovers and Justice are both air. Judgment is either fire or water, depending on who you talk to. Now, Lovers can be very much about communication. And with Judgment, I see communication too. Specifically, spiritual communication, channeled communication, mediumship, listening to the angels. So so I see those things in common. Now, Judgment and Justice, one traditional keyword that these two cards would have in common. Medea is just making me laugh so hard, but I'm going to finish my thought before I address it. But just know I'm struggling right now, Medea. Just know that. Judgment and Justice, a key word that they would have in common would be karma. But for me, Justice will speak very often to issues of fairness and legalities. Fairness and legalities. Judgment will speak to issues of closure, endings and new beginnings, and communication on a larger level. That can be advertising, communicating to a large group, or communicating with spirit. And Lovers for me is about relationships, but very specifically, like, what do you want to be in relationship with? It could be your relationship with literally your lover, your friend, your family, time, money, color, tea, this water bottle. I have a great relationship with this water bottle, I want you to know. I do, actually. So it's like, what do you choose to have in your life and how does it fit? How does it integrate? So communication, decisions, integration. That's how I see it. Love to hear what other people have to say. So Diana, who's a table for one, I see the Lovers as a choice between judgment, making a breakthrough, and justice, continuing on conventionally and playing by the rules. Okay. Now, talking about tens, this is what I was struggling with. Ness, I want to just reach into the computer and give you a hug because this is, you're mentioning one of my favorite movies of all time and one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite movies of all time. I love this. Ness, tens sometimes remind me of Spinal Tap, the movie. This goes to 11. Do y'all know that? Do you know that reference? It is a great freaking reference, and I love that you know that, Ness. I see it as a bit open-ended. Yeah, I'm so with you on that. But that's, and I tell that joke about my 11-card Celtic cross spread. Why is my 11-card Celtic cross spread better than a 10-card Celtic cross spread? See Spinal Tap. This one goes to 11. Okay. Now, regarding communicating with spirit, from Tanya, who had asked the original question, I use the jumper flyer method to communicate with my husband in spirit, and I've even had a dream visitation of him in which the cards flew out, and the cards I was shuffling. It's an amazing little method. I love that. I love that. That's so good. Thank you for sharing that. Lisa, tens are also a beginning because tens are one. Yes, in numerology, ones and tens are the same. 10 is just the higher octave of the ace. Absolutely, because 1 and 0 is 1. That's exactly right. 10, from Disco Bunny Kristen, 10 is to the max. Good or bad, tens often include others where nines can be more solitary. Okay. Joyous Ocean, I hear from my daughter in spirit all the time, and it makes me happy. She often pushed me out of my comfort zone. Generally, messages in numbers or nature, butterflies or dragonflies. Justine, I was just reading Mary Kay Greer's book that the number 10 is likely to refer to a group or collective ideals and beliefs rather than those of the individual. That's, yeah, very good. A couple of you have said that, and I didn't know that. Very good. All right, now, so tarot question from Joyous Ocean. Do you follow the energy of the card or your gut? Oh my gosh, so you don't know this, but this is one of those things, intuitive readings versus interpretive readings. This is one of the things that can cause like actual arguments in our community. Is tarot intuitive or interpretive? I would argue both. It's got to be both. It's got to be both. You have to look at, if you can't find something in the cards to go along with what you're feeling intuitively, you're going to have to look at that. Because, this is the thing, and if you've seen my rant in one of the playlists here, my playlist of rants on intuition, you will know that the thing that drives me nuts in our community is how we do each other the disservice of saying to one another, just follow your intuition. Oh, just follow your intuition, without ever telling anyone how to differentiate between the voice of intuition, the voice of anxiety, the voice of fear, the voice of desire. So when you're saying, do you go with your gut or do you go with classic interpretations, I think you have to find that place where those two things meet. I think that's the key. I think both are important. I think, okay, here we go. Drawn at random, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, just at random. So classic definition. Resources may be a little scarce. You may be really busy. Money may be tight. You may be working more than one job. You've got a lot of different commitments. Intuitively, I saw breast cancer in this card once, and I was right. The person called me. I sent her. I didn't say, oh my gosh, I think you have cancer. Obviously, that would be a bad thing to do, right? We don't do that. But I did say, Have you had a mammogram recently? I'm probably wrong. But do me the favor. I'd like to be wrong. Do me the favor. Just go get a mammogram. Just do it. Calls me back a week later. You just saved my life. Now, was I able to do the same thing for my mother? No, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I had no idea. But the point is, intuition said, you need a mammogram. Nowhere is a book going to tell you that. But if a person is diagnosed with cancer, is that a 2 of Pentacles thing? Oh, yes, it is. Now, how did I get breasts from this? I just saw it because of this, right? Right? So that was an example of that. Okay. And Dream Talking with Vicky says both for me. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, here we go. Ness, I love your 11 card spread. Even more now. Okay, let's see. Did I get, okay, I'm hoping I didn't miss anything. Justine, tarot question. The other day, I did an option style spread and I got the following cards for 2 options, potential outcomes. 9. Okay, just to follow along. Okay, so she's doing a reading. She's choosing between 2 options. So if I do this, what's the outcome? If I do that, what's the outcome? So for one option, the outcome was 9 of Cups. That's always a good outcome. The other option was the Ace of Swords reversed. Now, what Justine wants to know, is Ace of Swords reversed still kind of a good card to receive in a position like this? Just curious. I read the 9 of Cups as being like, yeah, this is the easier option I want to do to be lazy, versus the Ace of Swords reversed, like take the challenge. I think that's going to be completely contextual. I mean, given a choice between those 2 cards, which energy would I rather dunk myself in, the 9 of Cups or the Ace of Swords reversed? Give me the 9 of Cups each and every time. But depending on the situation and how those cards speak to that situation, sure. Joyous Ocean, I've only been reading for myself to learn, and I do both. I look at what I see in the card and read the definition from a book. Makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. And then just whatever comes to you, or you might see something in the card that no one has ever seen before. Any of those things are possible. All right. As far as mediumship specifically with tarot, I will occasionally just take a breath, picture the person I want to communicate with, and just say, what do you want to say to me? And pull one card or pull a couple of cards. And it's been really powerful. So all of those are things you can do, certainly. Now, in our last few minutes, and we have 5 minutes, so this is like last call for questions, anything. Also a good time for shameless self-promotion. If you've got a blog post, a YouTube channel, a website, an Etsy shop, whatever that you would like to promote, please go ahead and drop the link. I do want to let the members know that we have a members-only class this Thursday, day after tomorrow. This Thursday, 7 p.m., the link is already up. It's a court card class. And in the members-only live streams, I always like to read for you. So we're going to do the court cards. We're going to do a court cards class. And I am going to answer any question you throw at me with just the 16 court cards. I don't know how that's going to go, but we're going to try. I would never, by the way, recommend that as an actual way of reading. I don't believe in reading subsets of the cards to do an actual reading. But as an exercise in a class, it's a great thing. All right. Any other questions? Anything else? I want to thank you all for being here. And I'm going to leave you with a thought. This could be further conversation down the road. I was working with someone the other day in a private one-on-one mentoring. And we were talking about the processes of divination, no matter the tool, whether it is tarot or any other, runes, or just closing your eyes, asking a question, receiving an answer, no actual tools at all, how does it work? What are the steps? And I decided that these are the steps. We start with an invocation. Whether we are technically saying a prayer of invocation or not, we are asking a question of spirit. Whether we're asking a specific question or not, we are asking a question of spirit, and that's an invocation. Observation. Now, this goes back to what Joyous Ocean was saying. What am I observing? Am I observing the card? Am I observing how I'm feeling? You're observing all of it. Observe how you feel, observe the process, observe the card, observe everything. Then you interpret. And that's true, like even if you just get a message from spirit, you have to interpret it. And finally, verification. Whatever you can do to verify it, which is sometimes just, this is what I think is true, asking the person who knows, is this true? Yes, it is. Sometimes it's checking within, does that feel like truth? So, invocation, observation, interpretation, verification. What do y'all think? Do you see this as a standard protocol for psychic work? All right. Medihan Ness, it's always fun to pull cards as a message for somebody or an animal spirit. I found a frog at work the other day, caught it, and put it out in the grass, then pulled cards as the frog's message. It made me feel even better to save the little froggy with the message. Oh, that is so good. I love that. I love that. I love that. Hey, Trey, you're just joining us. Is it too late for me to get a card? Technically, yeah. Yeah, you are really late. But I'm happy to see you. Thanks for being here. We're in our last minute. Yeah, verification. Justine says verification, something I'm always looking for. And sometimes you'll get it and sometimes you won't. And if it's a future prediction, you can't get it until later, right? But we are always looking for that verification for sure. So my friends, I want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. You've heard us talking about StarCon. StarCon is our annual conference. We're in our fourth year. In 2024, we will be in our fourth year, January 19th through 21st. You can join us in person or online. Starcon.com, STAARCON.com. Check it out. Justine, when multiple cards in the Venn diagram overlap. Yeah, right. I hear that. That is the verification. I love to see it. It lets you know you're on the right track. That there's also verification that verifies your experience of your reality. That's a good point. When you get many cards that kind of mean the same thing. That's a very good point. I love it. My friends, thank you so very much. Members, remember, 7 p.m. on Thursday. The link is already up. I am available for readings and mentorship, of course. Thank you all so very much for being here. Oh! The Passionate Unicorn, I'll be in South Florida in September. I would love to attend some in-person event. Well, there'll be at least one. I think actually two. I think I have a library gig. I teach in a library in West Palm every 3 months. So reach out to me. Dina Moskowitz, it's so good to see you. Thanks for being here. Sorry, I'm just clocking you now. Thank you. So yeah, Passionate Unicorn, just reach out and we'll figure it out. Absolutely. All right, my friends, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take care.